Before you come here, there's all kinds of hopes, thoughts, imaginations, possibilities that impact you. There's an excitement that comes with being asked to serve in this way, honored, humbled to be asked to serve the church in this way. To come and to hear about a global church, to read it in our discipline, to know it cognitively, is something that Methodists are proud of and embrace. But to experience it now, wow, that's something else. I was in a legislative committee, Faith and Order, the other day, and I found myself beside one of our delegates, a pastor from Russia, whose Russian translator was behind him, sitting beside a person from seminary student in Haiti, and being convened by the chair who was from the Ivory Coast, whose translator was helping him talk to us and us talk to him. And in that moment, you know you're part of a global church. Certainly, General Conference has a rigor about it. It is the work of the head, and it is the work of the heart, and it is just physically the work of the body too. Mornings start early so that you can, if you have a breakfast meeting, those are at 6:30. You have to be in your seat and ready for the morning at 8. And though there is a nice lunch break and also an evening break, evenings end at 10, and by the time you get back, you kind of do it all over again. So there's a rigorousness, not just in the time and the pacing, but all of that time is thinking time, is the decisions that are before us matter. And they matter not just for what we will do in our one local church for the next year, but this affects the global church for the next 4 years. And so it matters, and so there's a kind of mental investment, an emotional heart investment, and a physical investment. Holy conferencing is certainly a good Methodist word, it's a good Wesleyan word. How do we speak the truth to one another in love? Holy conferencing. And so early on last week, one of the things that I found so interesting is when we have the time and a place and are guided to have these conversations that are beyond our language and beyond our continents, there's some real truth that comes to bear. Last week, for example, we were sitting in a room being sort of randomly divided. We were a snapshot of the global world, and we were given an opportunity to talk about human sexuality. It was a precursor to what will be before us tomorrow when the issue of ordination of homosexuals comes up. And it is certainly one of the questions that the world is asking the church, and other denominations are choosing how they will answer that question. This week we are choosing how we will answer that question. And so in that group of holy conferencing, to hear our Swahili, in the language of Swahili, our brothers from the Central Conference say, if you were to come to our country, we would not, you would look around and you would say, polygamy? Why do men have multiple wives? This is clearly not right. And we come to your country and you talk about homosexuality, and we look at you and say, why are we having this conversation? This is clearly not right. And you get a sense of the complexity across the continents that otherwise I would never sit and understand someone's perspective from another country who is my brother in faith, were it not for holy conferencing. Hopes. The hopes for the General Conference is that we would find a renewed unity and a passion for the mission of the church. And the mission of the church doesn't have to do with structure. That's a tool, right? It doesn't have to do with geographical areas or how we will divide them, but the mission of the church is how will we mobilize to make disciples of Jesus Christ so that the world looks different because we are here.